What's up, guys? It's me! When I posted that last video, there were several comments and emails regarding a case from Maryland involving a local businessman named Edward Koza, if you don't know. Koza was found dead in his home from multiple gunshot wounds. The police believe that the people responsible are two teenagers. As I looked into this case, I wanted to be sensitive to the family involved, so I will not be showing any images of the victim or the crime scene. However, some facts of this case are pretty wild. So let's go ahead and get into it. Edward Koza owned and operated a very popular carpet cleaning business in Maryland called Speedy Carpet Cleaning. He was a well-known businessman in the area for decades and was a regular fixture at local car shows. According to those who knew him, he was a hard-working man who took pride in his work. He also had a great sense of humor and was always willing to help others out. In 2018, Edward sold his business to his son, Brandon Koza, but Edward continued to work there part-time. On March 9, 2021, officers responded to a 911 call for a welfare check at the Koza family home located in the 7600 block of Old Court Road. When officers arrived, they found Mr. Koza deceased inside the residence from multiple gunshot wounds. Homicide detectives assumed the investigation and through their preliminary investigation determined that there were signs of forced entry into the house. This led investigators to believe that this was not a random act. Over the next few days, investigators canvassed the neighborhood and obtained surveillance footage from a nearby house, which showed a white Chevy Malibu in the area around the time of the murder. The Chevy Malibu is believed to be connected to this crime, and if you have any information regarding its whereabouts, you should contact the police. On March 11, 2021, just 2 days after the homicide, investigators arrested two individuals in connection to the incident. These two individuals are Jonah Poole, 17 years old, and Kylie Dakes, 18 years old. Both are from Baltimore, Maryland. They are currently being held at the Baltimore County Detention Center without bail. Both individuals have been charged as adults. At this time, it does not appear that either one of these individuals has an attorney. According to the investigators, the first contact that they had with the public was when they released this statement. It reads, through investigative efforts, detectives learned that the occupants of the vehicle are also connected to a residential burglary that occurred in the 7600 block of Old Court Road in the unincorporated community of Parkville, Maryland, on March 4, 2021. Detectives also learned the occupants of the vehicle are responsible for a series of car hijackings that have been occurring in various locations throughout Baltimore County since February 2021. Through further investigation, detectives determined the occupants of the vehicle are responsible for the death of Edward Koza. It seems like there's a lot to unpack here. First, they say that the vehicle was also connected to a residential burglary that happened 5 days before the incident. Second, they state that the vehicle was also connected to a series of car hijackings that were happening throughout the county since February. And third, they say that through further investigation, they determined that these individuals were responsible for the death of Edward Koza. We have two teenagers that are already in custody without bail. The police have not released much more information other than what I've already shared. All they ask is that, if you know anything, to contact them. The only additional thing that I could find is that the vehicle that they were driving was found completely destroyed by fire. So it looks like the police may have caught these two individuals in the act of either the carjacking or the burglary, and then they fled. They then set the vehicle on fire to destroy the evidence, and were unsuccessful. Police Commissioner Michael Harrison released a statement saying, "This is an unbelievable tragedy for the family, and our deepest sympathies are with them during this very difficult time. Our detectives worked tirelessly to solve this case and bring those responsible to justice." The Chief of Uniformed Officers, Colonel Gary T. Bass, said, "The arrest of these two individuals is the result of outstanding police work by our homicide detectives, crime scene technicians, and patrol officers. They worked tirelessly to bring us to this point. This was a heinous crime, and we are pleased that these suspects are off the streets. At this time, we still don't know exactly what the motive was, or if these two individuals acted alone. We also do and know exactly what the connection is between the victims and the suspects and they may have known each other through the neighborhood or through the business. But nothing concrete has been released. As I said before, Mr. Koza owned a very popular carpet cleaning business in the area. And according to the people who knew him, he was a great man who would never hurt a fly. I saw a couple of comments suggesting that perhaps this was a case of mistaken identity, but I doubt that. I think if there was a possibility that Mr. Koza was mistaken for someone else, the police would have said something along those lines. Also, it doesn't seem like a coincidence that they were also investigating a burglary from 5 days prior in the same area and also a series of car hijackings. So I'm thinking that maybe these two teenagers targeted Mr. Koza specifically. But again, we just don't have enough information right now. All we know is that the police believe that these two individuals are responsible for the death of Edward Koza. We know that they are facing charges as adults, and we know that they are being held without bail. I don't know much about the legal system in Maryland, but typically when minors are charged with murder, they are either released to their parents or they are sent to some type of juvenile detention facility. But I guess because these two individuals are 17 and 18 years old, the court decided to charge them as adults. I want to send my condolences to the family and friends of Edward Koza. It's hard to imagine the pain and suffering that they must be going through right now. Losing someone so suddenly and violently is never easy, especially when it's at the hands of another person. My hope is that these two individuals are brought to justice for whatever role they may have played in this crime. We live in a day and age where it seems like kids are getting arrested for murder left and right. In fact, there was a recent case down here in Florida where two 12-year-old boys were arrested for murder. Those cases are a little different because both of those individuals have criminal histories. And I think that is something that we need to look into as a society. Now, I'm not trying to excuse their behavior or make excuses for them. What I am saying is that there needs to be some kind of intervention program for kids who are constantly getting into trouble with the law. Otherwise, they're going to continue doing it. Eventually, they're going to get caught and end up in jail. This case is still currently under investigation, so we don't have all the details yet. As soon as more information is released, I will make sure to update you guys. If you have any information regarding this case, please contact the police. Again, I'm not trying to sensationalize this case or exploit the tragedy for views. I just think it's important to spread awareness about the crime that is happening in our communities. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.